Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers masterpiece MP-49 Black Convoy, or as we know him, Nemesis Prime. Yep, you see he's a black semi-truck and he comes in this box, which is a typical masterpiece box. You know, it's got the, truck and robot modes both sitting right there. Very kind of glossy, so it's a little reflective on my lights. You see right there, he's Destron Unicronian Herald. We got the long life design thing right there. Yep. On the side, you got him in this truck mode. On the back, you have a nice little action shot of him. Well, now you got this is a Transform masterpiece there on the back. On the top, you have a bunch of warnings and stuff here on the bottom. And on the back, you got the usual product shots and what it comes with. And hey, look, he's fighting Optimus Prime and all that stuff. And a bunch of words I can't read because I don't know how to read Japanese. In there, he also has his instructions, which has a nice bit of artwork on the front. You know, it's a booklet, which I believe it's been a while since we got a nice little booklet. Yeah, booklet, it's got the instructions, which may or may not be helpful depending. Also, hey, look, accessories and how to use them, and a little Decepticon logo on the back. And you got the collector's card, which has the same artwork. And on the back, you have some stuff that, again, I can't read, plus it's tech specs and whatnot. So there you go on that front. Anyway, truck. Yes, he is a black semi-truck, as we know. It is a black semi-truck. That is just how he is, because it's always been Nemesis Prime has always been a black repaint of Optimus, and is a repaint of MP-44. And it's the first time that the Masterpiece line has given the black repaint a new designation rather than just a B. Because we've had MP-01B, MP-10B, and now we just have MP-49 instead of 44B, which I find interesting. You can see he's, good, pretty much entirely black. Chromed wheels, chromed gas tanks, chromed grill, headlights, bumper, red windows, chromed smokestacks and mirrors. Gray back here, gray and blue. Probably sitting slightly crooked, but hey. There you go, back here. Yeah. The Decepticon symbol is actually a white outline, or actually more of a silvery outline than the usual purple. So I think that looks really good. Actually, the same thing on my TE01B, and I think it looks really good that way. Yeah, it looks really good. And hey, look, the gas tanks here. You notice they're actually sitting straight. I don't know what's different. I think maybe possibly because it's there's one thing I'll get into a little bit, but it sits straight, unlike my MP-44, which those were always crooked no matter what I did. I think possibly the big thing is this is unpainted black plastic. There is no paint. There's not a whole lot of paint on this guy. There's only a smidge here and there. For the most part, he is largely unpainted, and some people really don't like that. The fact that he's unpainted black. I think it looks fine. I think black's one of those colors you can get away with it. But yeah, it's definitely unpainted, and that might have something to do with it. The tolerances might be adjusted just enough because of that this now all fits together better. But anyway, those actually work. On mine, this has a tendency, this arm for whatever has a tendency to want to sit slightly crooked, which makes it pop out, but it doesn't take much for me. I just kind of hold it and squeeze it down, and it'll pretty much fix itself for the most part. But yeah, he does roll like he's supposed to. Nice and back and forth. The clearance is very tight, but it's there. He has a handful of accessories, not as many as MP-44. He doesn't come with a trailer, but he still can hitch up to MP-44s if you want. But I already showed how to do that in MP-44, so I don't think I have to do it again. At least I hope I don't have to. He comes with a little blast part, his energy axe, both in a nice teal color. He comes with his alternate season 1 style head and his gun, which here you can see is folded up because there's a little rail, and once again, you can, just like MP-44, you can just slot that in the back here. You can line it up right, slot that back in, and that's your weapon storage. None of the other accessories have a place to store. Well, there's one other accessory, which I'll get into in the robot mode, because right now it's stored away in the bottom here. These doors still open, by the way. Both doors still open, so you can, if you have the spike or spark plug, you can still shove them in the cab. No, he just kidnapped them. Oh no. The other thing is on mine, and this apparently is a common problem, these roof panels don't quite, you've noticed they don't quite sit flush, and usually my attempts to make them sit flush make this start to pop out on the side. So something allows these the same thing that seems to allow these gas tanks to actually sit correctly is also causing the whole thing to not quite sit correctly here. But yeah. again, I personally don't mind the unpainted look, but that is your mind is may vary thing. So there you go on that one. But I think again, and I always love a black repaint of Optimus. So there's that. Comparisons real quick. Some real quick comparisons. I'm not going to get too crazy with this. I'm not going to transform MP-44. I don't want to risk scratching the paint even more. But yeah, here's with MP-10B. You know, just to give you an idea there. You know, this I believe is actually painted black plastic and whatnot, but yes, it's glossier. But you can see that. You can see the difference there between the two overall. And here he is with, well, Transform Elements MP-01B, or whatever they're called, TE-01B, that's what it was. You can see that, yes, you can see that, you know, my little sticker there, I put, you know, white outline, so you can see pretty similar size and everything. Some aesthetic differences, but yep, pretty much same size. So there you go. That's there in the truck modes. I think he's good. I personally like this truck mode a bit. I still got the, you know, whether or not you like that back end. I don't know. A lot of people hate it, but I don't mind it. I know because, again, a semi-truck is supposed to have a messy back end, so I don't really think that's a terrible thing. But your mileage may vary. You already kind of made that decision on the MP-44. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy transformed, and then we'll go ahead and talk about some robot mode stuff. All right. So that's his robot mode. Of course, yep, it's pretty much once again a black repaint of Optimus Prime, the MP-44. Yep, black repaint into MP-49. But yeah, again, you can see that, you know, very much again the unpainted plastic. These are not even painted. That's cut plastic. This is painted. I guess this is technically painted because it's vac metallized chrome. So that's technically painted. This is painted, and this is paint, and that's, I believe, the face is painted as well, and that's pretty much it. And I guess that's technically paint, but yeah, it's very much paintless for better or for worse. A lot of people are complaining. I think it's just, well, a lot of people are complaining that the MP-44 was easily scratched, so they just wipe the paint out. Why not? It makes sense to do. I mean, if everyone's scratching the paint up, then just get rid of most of the paint. So this will never scratch. That's good. This can scratch a little bit. Mine has some minor like edge scratches, like right here. There's a little minor, like a little dot taken off. But it's unlikely you're going to scratch the paint on this one because very little of it. But yeah, again, it's very nice looking, I feel. Again, there's also a little bit of gray paint down here. I guess that silvery gray paint. Again, still has the backpack, which, you know, better for us. Again, no sound box this time. It's completely empty, and now it's molded slightly differently. So it actually kind of matches the animation a little better on that one for a character that wasn't in the original G1 cartoon. But I guess this is so this Nemesis, this Black Convoy is, I guess, a theoretical what if Nemesis Prime showed up in G1. And yeah, that's where you go with that. Again, I still like this mold. This is still one of my favorite molds, and I honestly think MP-44 and now by extension this are some of the best Transformers we have, or masterpiece Transformers we've ever gotten. I know that's a lot of people really don't like it because, well, cost and complications and all that stuff, but I still think they look great. Yeah, this guy is amazing, I feel. Big change here. Well, head swap's still the same. You can just a little block, you pull that off and it tabs or pegs in, and then you slide on the other head, and there you go. So you can have a more G1 style head if you want, or not G1, wow. More Season 1 style head if you really want. And yeah. So that looks pretty good, but again, I still prefer the Season 2 head. Yeah, he doesn't come with the damaged head or the Starscream head or any of those accessories. He doesn't come with the little torn up abdomen accessory or anything. This, once again, that is just you pop the hand off. It's on a little clip. Holds in pretty good too. I believe it's this way. Yeah, it's that way. Then you can just rotate that, and there you go. You got the little bit of articulation there when it moves up and down. Maybe this way, actually. We'll check that. No, it's definitely the other way. Okay, I was right. It just, again, it still doesn't hold super well. It holds a little better than the original version, but it's still not amazing. But so you got that, you got the rotation and all that stuff. And it's weird because most of them have the red axe. This one has the teal axe, which honestly, I don't mind it so much. You know, it gives a little more because the teal looks really good. I wouldn't mind the red, but, you know, teal's still good. That's still that whole thing you can do. And of course, his gun, which unfolds, and got the tabs for the slot in his hand, which just open up his hand and slot it in. That's the thing that's one thing I've noticed, which I think apparently a lot of people have the problem, which is it doesn't tab in as securely as it should. Apparently this is a common thing. On mine, the left hand, it kind of works. The tabbing kind of works, but it's also noticeably looser than it should be. It still holds okay. So it's not horrible, but it is noticeably like a little bit of more resistance than there should be tapping it in. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, the blast part here, you can put there and boom, you got the gun. There you go. That's one thing I forgot to mention. There you go. And of course, one final accessory he has, which of course is inside here. You open those up and you open this panel up. And there's his matrix. But it's the dead matrix, I guess, so it's chromed. It's chromed and it's got a red jewel instead of blue one, and that is nice and stubborn there. Where's my spudger? Can't seem to find my spudger. Ow. Yeah, it's in there good. Can't seem to get it out. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, if you have trouble, just move that forward a bit. And then wonder why it won't go back in. There we go. Yep. Matrix. You can see that. It's, again, chromed red jewel. And goes in pretty solid. So there you go. That's all of his accessories and whatnot. Posability. His head's on a ball joint, so left, right, up, very extreme up, down, a tiny bit, although if you use that platform, you get a little more down. So lots of waggle there on that. His shoulders are ratcheted all the way around. There's a little friction joint here, although like right there. For outward, and there's another one right there if you need more outward. Got a bicep swivel. Got a, I believe it's, yeah, double, maybe it's double, no, it's not double jointed. It is a single joint, but it has good range. See that? Wrists on a swivel. Thanks to the transformation, there's a little bit of wiggle back and forth. His thumb is on a hinge, up and down. His fingers are on multiple hinges. There's a base knuckle and a mid knuckle, and the final 3 fingers are all one piece. So there's that. Waist articulation. He's got a waist. Oh, hey, look, once again, just like MP-44. Oh, no, it's super limited. Pop that open. There you go. You got a lot there. It goes all the way that far. And it goes ab crunch, and you got the rocker back and forth. So you got a lot of range there. Hips, of course, the ratchet forward. You got that little thing that goes makes it go out of the way, so you can kick up pretty high, kick back pretty far. Outward, pretty far. Got a thigh swivel there. And he's got his knees, and I'll get to more about the knees in a little bit. Don't worry, I'll talk about that. You got that upper ratchet, and you got the lower ratchet. So you get a darn good leg knee bend. I'll talk about that. And again, get back to that in just a second. You got the ankle tilt, of course, good 90 degrees or so out there. Got forward and back on the ratchet. Right there. So yeah. And you got a bit of a toe joint as well, although it brings the heel with it. And you can, I guess, untransform the heel a little bit if you need a support strut for whatever reason. So, yep. Very good posability, once again. And most probably some of the best posability in any sort of transformer ever, really. Okay, so some comparisons real quick. Here he is with the MP-10B. Yeah, go ahead and do that. You can see there, yep. Roughly the same size, but yeah, MP-10B, you can see the proportional problems there. I think that's better proportion, although some people disagree, but that's, personal taste, I guess. Here he is with a TE01B. Again, same height, somewhat different proportions slightly, but you can see different both trying to go for that hyper cartoon aesthetic, but kind of going about it different ways. Again, your preferences, your collection, your preferences, whichever, although this is now difficult to find, this is not. And last but not least, MP-44, the original. Yeah, mine with the paint and some scratching and everything. Yeah, you can see the same mold, just less paint. Again, I think the reason they really get away with no little paint on this guy is because it's black, and black plastic can still look really good even without paint. One thing I like is the nice, very subtle teal arrows here. He has little subtle red ones, but yeah. So you can see, different color guns too, black versus gray. But yep, same thing. Now, as you can see, a couple differences beyond the obvious are, again, on the back here, you can see the voice box stuff is not there. The buttons removed and everything. But, okay, so the knees. Let's talk about those knees, huh? I'm going to get into that right now. This is where I finally get into things. Okay, actually, I'm going to bring this a little closer. So, okay, if you remember, MP-44 had the little tab slot thing. There's this little weird side tab thing, curved side tab. There's a little slot in there, and basically, you to rotate the upper knee, then the lower knee, or else it's going to break, right? You probably remember that a little bit. Yeah, and of course, a lot of people had those broken because of that and various other things. There's also the idea that it's the stuff in there is actually kind of fragile, whatever. If you notice, MP-49 doesn't have that little thing right there. It's gone. That little tab thing is gone. The slot's still there, but the tab's gone. That was their quote-unquote fix for it. Some would disagree with it being a fix, I've noticed. Some people are very much like adamant it's not a fix because it kind of creates a new issue. It's not a bad issue per se, but does create a bit of a new weird issue that can pop up. Because both knees are still ratcheted on this. It doesn't seem as prone to breaking. Let's see if I can actually do this. But yeah, you'll still want to rotate the upper ratchet first, then the lower ratchet. And the reason for that, if you say, I don't know, rotate the upper ratchet first and on the way back, and then the lower ratchet, hey, look, it can do that. You wind up with a leg that looks like that. You can see it doesn't seem to actually hurt anything for that to happen, but just be aware of that if you do get MP-44. So it won't like snap anything or cause it to turn to friction joint, but it can get out of alignment if you're not careful. So you can now actually bend the back part first, and it'll still work. It's just if you're bending it, straightening back out, it's definitely you want to do it in a very specific order or whatever. You'll do want a very specific way. Otherwise, it's really easy to just pop it out of alignment and whatnot. So yeah, the knees, they're different now, for better or for worse. Yeah, for better or for worse, the knees are now different. Some would argue worse. Some would absolutely argue worse, but I think it works fine. I didn't really have a problem with the original though, but again, mileage may vary. I don't know. I'm not sure how prone this is going to be breaking. Some people are worried by constantly the ratchet going in and out of its socket like that, it's going to eventually break something. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. It just seems, looking at it, it just seems like, oh, it just slides out of alignment. It's really easy to realign. So I don't know. And a couple other things I actually forgot to mention in the review. The antenna. These are a new material compared to MP-44. If you notice, these are not bent at all. They are straight. It's a definitely new material. It's a harder material, whatever it is. So they're not coming pre-bent. So that might be good, although I'm not sure about the rigidity or anything. But so far, mine have been fine. So I don't know about that. And the other thing is people have been complaining about looseness in the hips and waist and whatnot. Mine is okay. I mean, there's like some play there, but I honestly don't mind that so much because, well, that gives me a little more leeway when posing. I'm not like stuck it's not stuck with it, you know, in particular rigid position or anything. So I'm not sure if mine's what people consider loose because there is this little bit of wobble here. You can see that. That's all within one ratchet click. So I'm not sure if that's unacceptable to some people or what, but I'm not really having an issue with it. And the waist on mine, again, it's somewhat holding a pose, although it doesn't take much for it to get out of position. But yeah, it can hold as long as I don't mess with it too much. But it does hold position and whatnot. So yeah, it's it doesn't feel that loose, really. One thing I've heard someone say to fix it is this screw and the one on the opposite side here, right there. Someone said to tighten those, and it helped really tighten that up. So your mileage vary on that one, but yeah. That might be a thing to help if yours is loose. So yeah, that's just a couple things I forgot to mention in the review, but people have been bringing up here and there line about this guy. So yep. So that might be something you might want to talk for. But anyway, if you are someone who likes, you know, like me and likes to collect Nemesis Primes or Black Convoys or whatever, what have you, this is a fantastic one. I know some people like the idea of a burly Nemesis Prime, so they're going for the Magic Square version, which I get that too. But if you want to, you know, what if Nemesis Prime showed up in G1? This is a good figure. I rather like it. I know I don't mind the lack of paint. In fact, in this case, I think it works out really well. The lack of paint kind of helps it with the transformation stuff. There's no chance of real scratching anything. Some stuff like the truck somewhat seems to, in some ways, fits together better. Again, the gas tank thing. The knee problem is, I guess, kind of fixed, although not entirely. Yeah. It's just, I think it works really well. This guy costs around $200 on Amazon Japan, somewhere in that range. I was able to get it for about 180. That is still fairly expensive, but is less expensive than MP-44. People are hoping that maybe there will be an MP-44 release without the accessories. Although if you're really desperate, there's the KO version, I guess, which is really cheap, but also apparently has almost all the same problems. and it's unpainted. So go figure on that one. It's still, yeah, it's still apparently prone to breaking. The knees are still very prone to breaking on some of the KOs and whatnot. I don't know all the details on that. Just know apparently they didn't quite fix the problem like they supposedly said they did. I don't know the exacts on that. So, but anyway, about $200 for I think this is the best mold ever in the Masterpiece line. This is my favorite mold ever. It's so posable, and I think it looks so good. So I feel like it's a good value for its money, all things considered. It's just shy of $200, but it is a really intricate transformation, and it's it's a fairly good size figure. It's intricate transformation and everything. Some may disagree. Maybe a lot of people would say, yeah, but I can get the TEO1 for like $100. Well, you could get it, and you can get a version of that mold for like $100 and so. But there you go. I don't know. I think it just barely justifies itself at this price, personally. But then again, I'm also super into getting black repaints of Optimus, so go figure on that one. It kind of fixed an issue with the original MP-44 version. Maybe not as well as people were hoping, but it kind of fixed that. Or two issues, although in ways people probably were not expecting, namely just remove the paint and just remove the tab on the ratchet for the knee. But I like it. Yeah, $200 is, I think, a okay price for this guy. It might go on sale. I don't know. Nemesis Prime sometimes sell it real quick. Sometimes they languish around. So who knows? You might be able to get it way cheaper. I don't know. I just like it. I like it a lot. I think it still looks great overall, and I'm really glad I got it. It's just another one for the collection for me. But that's it. I hope you found this informative or entertaining in some way. I hope this didn't drag on too long for you. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You can also check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. More reviews will be coming. Pretty sure, yeah, the MMC Blast Off, the Volatus, Double Dealer's coming. A bunch of stuff's coming. Hope you stick around. Check out my Patreon, check out the coffee, all that stuff. And I hope to see you next time with another video review. So, bye guys.